Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting. 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Tuesday, March 6th, 2018. And here are some of today's trends in the news. We're getting close to those Ides of March days. And that's what it seemed like today, boy. What volatility. Over there in Asia, everything was up nice. Europe up nice. Here in the States, here's the way the day began on the market front. Wall Street advances on signs of North Korea talks. All over the world this came out. U.S. stocks gained traction on signs North Korea progress. North Korea denuclearization news boosts Wall Street. Boom, zam. Markets are up over 150 points pre-market. Then all of a sudden, it changed. Changed like that. Yep. Here's a CNBC headline. Dow falls 150 points on fear that Gary Cohn may resign as economic advisor over tariffs. He's Trump's chief economic advisor. Yeah, you know, Gary Cohn. Yeah, the Cohen from the Goldman Sachs gang. Yeah, remember Trump, I'm going to drain the swamp? Yep, brings in the whole Goldman Sachs gang, Mnuchin. Yep. Anyway, as we go on air, now word is that he's actually going to resign. So, the point being, none of this has anything to do with the markets. North Korea, Gary Cohn, see you later, Jack, has nothing to do with the markets or what's going on Main Street in the world economy near you or in the United States. So, what's really going on? Stay tuned tomorrow for your trend alert. Look for it. You'll be getting it early in the day. We're taking a new look at this. Is it going to be a bear market or a recession trigger that's about to be shot off? Not this headline garbage that they're feeding us, that they're shoving down our throat because you got a bunch of little people calling stupid things like this. What goes on in North Korea? Yeah, if they send off a bomb, then that's going to bomb the markets. But because they're talking peace, that's going to drive the markets up? What does that have to do with price-earnings ratios? What does that have to do with over-leveraged stocks? What does that have to do with declining wages? What does it have to do with all the dough going to the top? You know what it has to do? It has to do with what the media has become. Nothing more than a load of...
Warning, bullshit alert.
Poof. Anybody that's watching that stuff now to gain information and really work on it, if you like dumbed down news, knock yourself out. And what else? Oil's like this. Why did oil go like this? There's nothing really to report on it. So every day they're coming out with a little story about this, a little story about that. It's in the range that it's in. It's a supply and demand issue. Stop with this little stupid stuff. Unless something big happens, you can see where oil is, and it's going to stay in this range. Gold went up today on the news. You're not going to believe this. The good news on North Korea talking about denuking. Yeah. Well, I thought gold went up when there was fear and terror, and it was a safe haven. No, the dollar got weaker because on that good news. Again, it all depends at this point in time, not always, on where the dollar's going. And where the dollar's going, read your trend alert tomorrow, and you'll see where gold is going. And moving on. Stocks close higher, but investors remain on edge over tariff debate. All right. That's how they closed it. They began it with North Korea and Gary Cohn. And now it's back to tariffs debate. And it's bigger than tariffs. So let's get this straight. Tariffs is a wild card, and as we always said, what could turn these markets down is the wild card, and there's no wilder card than the trump card. But that's not enough to destroy the markets. There are bigger reasons for it, and it's in your trend alert that you will be receiving tomorrow. History before it happens, and guaranteed what you're going to be reading, you're not going to get out of the media. So, what else do we have? What we've been saying. Why isn't there going to be a market crash absent a wild card? Because stock buybacks. End of story, nothing else to say. Catalyst Capital, the market research firm, estimates that this will be the biggest year of stock buybacks thanks to the Trump tax plan. They estimate $1.2 trillion in stock buybacks. Now, remember all that talk about it's going to go to capital improvements and increasing the wages of the workers? Well, not quite. According to the analysis, the total new money 44 companies plan to spend on workers this year is the grand total of $5.2 billion. All right? And what are we talking about? $1.2 trillion to push up their share values. So, Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, the CEO, said, quote, "We expect most of the benefits from tax reform to flow to the bottom line through dividends and share buybacks." Oh, yeah. The wonderful Bank of America, huh? And before those little slimers that everybody loves so much, like Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer with a peanut brain and a pair of peanut cojones. That's the guy that began to sell us out. That's right. Did away with the usury laws. Yeah, they used to call it VIG back in the old days. Now they could charge you anything that they want. Bank of America, they're only out in California. That's right. They started the big deregulation process. Under him, under Reagan, under Clinton, you weren't allowed to have banks cross state lines. And now the bigs have taken over everything. And that's all this world has become. Just the bigs. Oh, what's going on over there in Italy with that election? Barely covered in the United States. Front page here in the Financial Times. Italy on course for clash with EU as voters boost populist parties. Why are they boosting populist parties? Because they've been screwed. Can anybody add that up? No, no, no. Listen to the headlines in today's business media talking about North Korea and Clown Cohen may leave or will leave the Trump administration for shaking the markets around. Nobody's talking about this, and when they do talk about it, they put it in propagandist terms. For example, the governing center-left Democratic Party suffered crushing defeat. Center-left? How about middle lowlife? How about, could you say this, a bunch of scumbags that the people are tired of? No, be proper. Call them center-left. Yeah, left out of your mind. And Italian voters put their country on a potential collision course with the EU after delivering sweeping gains for populist and Eurosceptic parties. Eurosceptic. The employment rate is high. The living standard is sinking. How dare you not look up to the Euros, huh? The people in Brussels that you spent all that money for to build those big buildings and to give them a lifetime of work for nothing, do nothing, and live rich salaries. Hey, don't get upset. Be a little clown. Vote Democratic and Republican. Midterm elections are coming. Don't forget to vote. Stay with your parties. Stay with losers. And moving on to the markets. Very important what's going on because this is hardly being reported. Investors staged a near-record exodus from U.S. stocks in February. Yep, U.S. stocks, they left stocks in near-record numbers and drawing out $41.1 billion during the month, which is the third most in the market data's firm records. That's trim tabs. So you can see what's going on over here. By the way, buybacks amounted to $151 billion for the month, a new record, pushing the quarterly total up to $212 billion. That is what's going to keep this market afloat. Again, it's overvalued, overleveraged. So, but a lot of wild cards are being played. And the big wild card, of course, is inflation. Lumber prices saw on shortages. So they're concerned about prices going up. Prices going up, they're going to raise interest rates. They raise interest rates, the markets can't take it. We've been going over detail after detail, day after day. Auto sales, housing starts, one after another. Mortgage rates going up, housing, buying new homes, and pending home sales down. Interest rates going up, car sales going down. LA Mall to convert to office space. The malls converting to office space, health places, they're not going to bring in the income. They're still lousy investments as we see it, but think for yourself. And again, read my book, Trends 2000. I was the first to call the pall on the mall back in 1996. You could see the trend in place. They were being overbuilt. We said when the new millennium begins and moves forward, you're going to start seeing them closing down and saying exactly what is happening and what they're trying to do with them. They don't need a mall to put office space in. You're going to start seeing a glut of commercial office space coming online as the economy goes down and interest rates go up. Oscars hit sour note with ABC views. The Oscars hit a sour note. The Grammys hit a sour note because you got a bunch of stupid lowlives singing, dancing, and acting. It stinks, and I don't want to hear their political crap from stupid comics that the media keeps pumping up as if they're statespeople. They're little stupid comics. You could say their names, Mayor Kimmel, and all the rest of you Colberts, and the rest of you stupid losers that are good for nothing other than jerking off in public. And I don't want to hear it, and so a lot of other people don't either. Don't care what you stand for, what you believe. You're here to entertain me. But no. Your ego's too big. You only can entertain yourself. Hey, remember Louis Prima? Of course, you never heard of him. And Keely Smith? Che la luna mezze mamma mia. Yeah, play pretty for the people. And that's what these clowns don't have a clue of doing. All they do is in public. The ratings show it. Football, too. You got a problem? Don't do it there. There's a place for it. You're getting paid to do a job. Do your job. You want to go protest? Do it in another arena. And moving on to another arena, Syria. Look at the toilet paper a record. Look how they keep selling hatred against Russia, Assad, and Iran. Here, look at this. Never stops. Heartbreaking images from Syria, so numbingly familiar. Hey, Cazzone, how come it wasn't numbingly familiar when the United States destroyed Mosul? How come it wasn't numbingly familiar when the United States leveled Raqqa? Oh, you forgot Fallujah, huh? You little low-life pieces of garbage selling propaganda. You can see where this is leading, because here's how it follows up. Right after this, pop, White House accuses Russia of slaughtering civilians in Syria. Yep, Trump administration lambasted Russia's involvement in a deadly ongoing military operation in eastern Syria, saying the country has dropped bombs, at least 20 daily. And what, 20 daily? Catch up to the United States, man. Only killed 1 million people over in Iraq. Forgot about Afghanistan. Hey, how about Libya? Go to Somalia. Quote, really good at killing people. You know him, right? Obama? Yeah, arrogant Obama. Quoted in the book Double Down. See where this is going. Because following that, White House considers military action against Syria. Isn't that nice? The White House considers it. A bunch of freaks and fools considering it. Hey, how about asking us? Nah, you're only a little slave in Slavelandia. Shut your mouth, Celente. Trump administration has requested the Pentagon to provide various options for military attack, nominally to, quote, punish the Assad government, that's a quote, over the unproven allegations of gas attacks. Oh, gas attacks. How World War I, gas. How about cluster bombs? How about the mother of all bombs? Yeah, mother, you know what? What hypocrisy. When all else fails, they take you to war. And when you look at who's running the world, nothing but a bunch of failures. Macron, May, Trump, a freak, a liar, and a fool, and a coward in a country near you. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.
Give me Illinois, Chicago, 'cause I like the ice and snow. Ride, ride, ride. Take a ride. Ride, 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 ride. Take a ride. Yes, take a ride. Take a ride. Ride, ride, ride. Take a ride. Yes, take a ride. Take a ride. Ride, ride, ride. Well, Boston, Massachusetts is a great little state, and it's known for its Boston beef. Well, Boston, Massachusetts is a great little state, and it's known for its Boston beef. But I'll take the Crescent City, it's better known as New Orleans. Ride, ride, ride. Take a ride. In the wind, you get me there. Take a ride. Ride, ride, ride. Take a ride. Yes, take a ride. Take a ride. Baby, don't you hear me talk to you? Take a ride. Ride, 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 ride. Well, I've tried